I'm back.
About ready to go?
Alright.
Okay. We are live. And we will be kicking off momentarily. We only have one person in the room at the moment anyway. One of them being me. Oh, no, we have 5 people. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We will be beginning momentarily, just as soon as one of our party members returns. We'll be taking on Act 4 of Diablo 3. It's really exciting. Jazz, how are you doing?
Alright, thank you. Starting off with a Crusader. We're actually going to try out the Apprentice mode. I've got a very low level character and we'll see how she does with the higher level characters.
Do me a favor, by the way, if you're listening to us right now, go ahead and make a note in the chat room that you can hear us, me and Jazz, just to make sure that our microphones aren't muted or anything. I don't think there's any problems, so we should be able to get going in just a moment. Welcome to the stream, today's stream. I'm Kat Bailey. I'm joined today by Jazz Rignall over Skype. We're going to be playing Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Also joining me is my partner Emily. She is the lovely wizard that you see on the screen next to my hot monk. And also my friend Miguel Concepcion, who does a lot of freelance work here and there in the industry. He is Oily Water. He is the other Crusader. He has a sweet crown. That's why he wanted to join us. So once again, we'll be streaming Act 4, which is the second to the last, is the final act of the vanilla version, and the second to last act before the expansion pack. It's where you fight through the high heavens and everything. And we're going to show off a somewhat higher level character than is normally shown in the early games, which are my monks. So she's only like level 38, but you can get a much better idea for how strong they are. And we're also going to be showing off the apprenticing system, which shows like how a lower level character can come into a later part of the game. So we'll be starting in just a moment. We're about ready to go. Awesome. Sounds like everything is going to be good. Welcome X4 Walks. Thanks for joining us, and please feel free to follow us if you're enjoying the stream. And we're going to get going now.
A new recruit has joined my party.
Just started
my foes gained
Act
strength.
4. So we're all here. You ready to go? All right, let's do this thing. So Jazz, you reviewed Reaper of Souls. You were the primary reviewer.
I was indeed.
You seem to be like hanging out by the door there. Are you coming?
Actually, I've got the cinematic still showing. There we go.
Haha!
Stupid cinematics.
Oops. Alright, let's do this thing. He'll be following us in a moment. Alright, let's do this thing. And we have another cinematic.
Imperious, you cannot mean to face Diablo again. Your wounds are barely healed.
You know what that is, Jazz?
The heavens burn. This is
The
your
sparkly thing.
material.
I think that's the Wizard
And
Familiar.
you, Nephilim,
Or
look
some
below and
Wizard
see what
Familiar.
your kind has wrought.
So I don't know why I would have a...
Oh, no. Oh, that's is that the pet? The Loot Goblin pet? I thought that was for WoW, though.
Well, they did get like a special
Do not doubt.
pet, I guess,
Do
because
not fall prey to doubt, Tyrion.
I have a Battle.net account already.
Huh.
So it gave me a couple of extra. It gave me a couple of extra like
Gaze
items.
upon the destruction
I thought
I
they were
have
armors
wrought.
or something.
It will be the last thing you see.
Seven Pains asks, how's the
Discattle.
PS3 version,
Destroy
by the way?
the Nephilim.
Wondering if it's worth trying. Seven Pains on the
I
PlayStation
do not
4
fear
version,
you,
but
Nephilim.
from everything that I've heard the PlayStation 3 version is very good. Ultimate Evil Edition is coming out on the PS3, and I do intend to actually pick it up and play it. I'll be more
I don't have enough
That ability is not yet recharged.
Alright, as I was saying, definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, I think what makes it really, really good is just the adventure mode. I mean, adventure mode on the face of it doesn't sound particularly exciting. But actually it's just the ability to sort of play how you want. It makes the game very arcadey and immediate because you're essentially just doing just very, very basic missions and you know, kill something or kill a certain amount of things or find something on the map. You know, there's no kind of real plot or anything like that, so you don't stop for anything. So it's just like a giant arcade game with a lot of depth, and you can just keep on kind of generating new maps each time you do. All the entire map's open, and you have 25 different things to kind of complete. Doing so awards a bunch of stuff that lets you get kind of super elite armor. And also open up these things called Nephilim Rifts, which are kind of they're sort of one-shot, super random dungeons made out of random tiles, random layout, featuring random monsters, and you just go in there and just smack the crap out of everything, and it's kind of totally kind of a loot thing out of. And you can sometimes you can get sort of crappy ones that don't have a lot of loot, but at the very least you get a nice pile of loot, and sometimes it's you just get tons of stuff, like a bunch of items and things like that, and they're just really, really fun to play. It's just sort of a sort of random Diablo with a lot going on. So,
I was going to ask Jazz, now that we've played a tiny bit, how are you feeling about your like level 1 Crusader?
You know, it's funny because it's like playing from the beginning. Only obviously there's a lot more going on. It seems to have a fairly good strength boost, or a stat boost. So,
what kind of loot are you getting? Are you like getting crazy loot at the moment?
It seems to be. I get the feeling that it's all sort of mathematically generated because I'm kind of getting the same loot that I was. It started off as a level 3 character. Run out last night just to see how it worked, and basically I'm getting the same loot that I was picking up in kind of story mode.
By the way, we're playing on normal mode at the moment, which is admittedly a bit of a cakewalk compared to the rest of the game, but in this instance, I suppose it's not a bad thing to just be able to walk through the Legions of Hell. I'm surprised by how much they've rebalanced the difficulty. I remember normal mode being quite a bit more difficult in my original run in Diablo 3, but that might have been because the loot wasn't nearly as good. What are your thoughts on the difficulty balance, Jazz?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out earlier. It was because it feels. I'm not sure whether it's the fact that you're getting significantly better armor earlier, because that does make a huge difference. You know, sort of it's. Obviously getting the stat effects, but this one really does seem to be, you know, quite small stat differences can result in quite a big effect. So, you know, I noticed that when I was leveling up my Demon Hunter, early on I picked up a legendary bow, and it was just crazy. I was just like laying waste to everything, and it made the game kind of a bit too easy, but at the same time it was fun. But you know, the second time around I kind of upped the difficulty level because it was just a little bit too kind of, you know, looping, but I think it is a little bit easier. But you know, I mean, I think normal mode was always supposed to be the kind of novice, just get used to it, and then start dialing up the difficulty level, because you know, as you dial up the difficulty level, so you know, you also dial up the chance of getting legendaries and XP and all the rest of it. So it's all about character development at that point. So you want a good challenge.
Yes, Lethal Migraine, by the way, mentions Eurogamer posted today that the game runs better on the Xbox One. Didn't really seem to know why though. Have you had a chance to try it on Xbox One? I thought it looks. I feel like it looks great on the PS4.
Yeah, I haven't seen it at all. I mean, I'd like to know exactly what it's doing that makes it better, but you know, whether that's a framework thing. But you know, I mean, I think that the PS4
I don't have
version.
enough
I mean, I've played the PC version a lot recently, and I think with kind of the colours and the pictures, they just seem to be pretty nice definition.
Need more arcane power.
Or maybe it's
I can't pick up anything else.
It really does. I don't know. There's very crisp and sort of like the colours have a lot more depth. And I assume that was just sort of something to do with the way that the PS4 kind of filters, like, because it's got some pretty cool filtering effects.
I will be working.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to read up that Eurogamer thing
My
and
bags
actually see
are
what the issue is.
By the way, everybody who's noting that our game audio is a little high, I just turned it down, so hopefully you'll be able to hear us a bit better. Alright, so I guess we're continuing onward. This is the fun part of find and destroy the corrupt growths to reveal the hidden portal. Alright, so I guess we have to go destroy some corrupt growths. I haven't played, it's been quite a while since I've actually gone through Act 4. I've done like Act 5 a whole bunch of times. I've done Act 1 a whole bunch of times. But it's been interesting going through the entirety of the game. One more time to see how much everything's changed. I'll admit that one thing that I really like is the fact that you go and crush a lot of bases. Emily has been habitually destroying bases at every possible turn so that she can, so that we can get. It's a dumb little touch, but I like that they did it. Suggest play the game at launch.
The original game, I mean.
Yes, the original release.
Yeah, I played that last year. Really, on PS3. Really liked it a lot. What I liked about it was just the fact that sort of at that point the PC version had been sort of refined a little bit, but I kind of feel that the PS3 version of Diablo 3 sort of jumped ahead a little bit of the PC version at that point.
I can't carry anyone.
It's a lot more arcadey. The swarm seemed to be a little bit more focused. Very focused for sort of it's really solid, and then sort of move into this version. You know, it's buttoned down again. I mean, something that I think is interesting is the fact that
I'm carrying too much.
Has said that
I need to go back.
That basically they're going to be able to patch the PS3 version like the PC version. So when the PC version gets a patch, it won't be immediate, but fairly shortly thereafter, the PS4 version will get patched with the same sort of game, basically. So it's you know, that's definitely interesting. So I just want to support. We're actually going to see this going down over the coming months.
Lethal Migraine, by the way, right now in the chat room there's a conversation going on about Tomb Raider being a timed exclusive. It's kind of off topic for whatever this is, Twitch, being a timed exclusive for the Xbox One. I'm 90% sure that is a timed exclusive. Any thoughts on that, Jazz?
Yeah, it is not ready yet.
But I mean, for me, exclusives,
that ability is not yet recharged.
For every company's business. But to me, I think they're crappy things for games. That's because any kind of exclusive means that certain games are not getting a first game. You know, and oftentimes,
Can't carry more.
especially in presentations, companies present these exclusives as somehow being
Strike through me.
just preventing a great game from being played by other people. It's enough for the only benefit of exclusive is to self-system.
I'm carrying too much.
Nothing more. There's no benefit to it.
Well, it benefits them.
Yeah. So, you know,
Can't carry more.
Tomb Raider,
He
annoying,
revels in
basically.
war and combat, and has
Play
led
it
the
early
hosts
on
of
the
heaven
system
to
that you
innumerable
own. Great,
victories.
good for you.
With
But in the grand
Malthael's
scheme of
absence,
things,
it is
it's
Imperius
not
who now rules over the Angelus Council.
I'm unfortunately
seeking
stuck
power
looking through my
to
equipment because I
defend
seem to be
the
having a hard time picking
from
up stuff.
foe.
Oh, I see. Emily is having a hard time picking things up at the moment.
Well done, Nephilim.
That's the only thing that is maybe a tiny bit annoying about this version of the game is that it's just having to stop and sort through loot every 5 seconds because I mean that's part of the game, right?
yeah, I mean, with the first version, you know, the loot was so really, you didn't quite have that problem, but I've definitely noticed with this version, you know, it's just loot sitting, even more so than the last one, and you know, I just found myself constantly swapping out stuff or going back to sell, but you know, I'm never one to complain about too much loot.
Absolutely not.
Loot is what it's all about.
Loot piñatas, you've been saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a term we used a lot at playing.
So you, at this point, you've played quite a few different versions, quite a few different classes. What are your thoughts on the class balance?
It's you know, Blizzard did a very good job of sort of doing something for everybody. You know, you've got a very, very kind of melee-oriented character with sort of typical kind of tanky type controls in the barbarian. You know, the witch doctors are sort of
yeah, you're mentioning that the witch doctor like seemed kind of boring.
Yeah, it's not exactly boring, it's just weird. What it's really doing is casting things that then go and damage stuff. So there's this slightly sort of I mean, it's really fun to see running around killing everything and killing spiders
I must wait.
I don't have enough arcane power.
It's not quite satisfying as some massive spell
I'll admit I like the pew pew. I usually play as a demon hunter, that's my main, and even though the demon hunter has historically been underpowered, I just like the sensation of watching all those projectiles exploding, destroying people, arrows raining from the sky, what have you.
Yeah, same. This with the demon hunter, really enjoyed it, and to me I think how to say I think a lot of people that played it.
The Hellricks are closed. You have far exceeded my expectations, Nephilim. But there is not a moment to waste.
Demon Hunter successfully,
Quickly,
if
you must make your
the
way to
CC
the Silver
spells,
Spire.
spells, and kind of and you know your mobile, you roll through things. You really can
Rifts are closed, but it is
dynamic and fun battles
soon
where
there will be nothing
things just
left
don't
of
get
these
closer. It
high
might take a little bit
heavens.
longer to kill things,
All
but
creation will be the realm
yeah,
of
it's much more
terror.
satisfying when you feel like you're not just standing there like hammering a fire button, but you're sort of using tactics and strategies to do that. So that's what I like about that. I like that about the Wizard too. You know, it's that you've got a lot of different things.
I think a lot of people would argue that the Wizard is pretty much a PvP character because they're whatever, hammering the button and watching things explode under your death rate, as Emily is doing right now. She's using her unit. It's ridiculous, actually. Like, she was lapping me in terms of leveling for a long time because her unibeam was just freaking melting everything. So I couldn't get close enough to get maximum amount of experience as a melee character. It was kind of insane. I'm going to throw this in the chat room, by the way. What are your favorite classes in Diablo 3? I'm kind of curious to hear. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a bunch of you are probably going to say Barbarian, especially because our Barbarian was really strong.
I can't pick up anything else.
In Diablo 3 vanilla version, I know that one of the problems people were having is that essentially you could just roll through enemies, or you could just whirl through enemies using the whirlwind ability. You just spam that thing, you wipe out entire rooms. There was a lot of controversy actually among fans. Initially it was the balance changes. A lot of people were arguing that the Barbarian was being nerfed way too much. But I would say that whenever you have a completely overpowered class getting brought under control, you're inevitably going to get people mad and destroy everything. So,
more arcane power.
the hardest difficulty level without even breaking sweat. People like being overpowered.
It is not ready yet.
I think you can kind of pretty much base roll your way through normal level anyway, and you know, and once you start going up the challenges, it should get increasingly more difficult. I don't know, what's the fun in that? You know?
On the other hand, like main story, I think it's meant to be really easy. It's only once you get into the highest levels of play where you're like a max level and you're just trying to
I'm carrying too much.
you're doing the highest possible instances where like the strategy and everything really starts to matter.
I am ready to again fight
So
by your side.
Blizzard is
I was
really
wrong to give in to despair.
Blizzard is
You have
really
shown
facing
me
that kind
there
of
is still a
tricky
chance for
balancing act of being able to have
Your
people and
kind
have fun
faces
with their
death.
game, but at the same time deep enough that hardcore fans aren't just gonna be able to destroy it without even batting an eye. By the way, Jazz, have you ever played hardcore mode? I'm kind of curious.
No, I have not. I want to try it, but you know, it's kind of I got to be in the mood for it because I think is one of those games where you kind of start out and you're like, this is a really good idea, this is kind of fun, and then once you get to about kind of like level 15, it starts becoming really stressful, because at that point you've got enough invested in the game to just to kind of make it like a big thing when you do die. But you know, I was actually going to suggest mode for this, but it's
This is your fight, Nicola.
I've only died twice, but both times I was like, it was a surprise. Like the 2 times that I accidentally died, and then I was like, oh man, it would have really sucked if
Diablo will corrupt
if
the
I had
crystal arch high atop
accidentally
the silver
like
spire.
died and lost my
I
character.
must stop him, or heaven will be lost forever.
yeah.
This is
Yeah,
our
when I
last hope.
die, usually it's like in a
Tyrael
really
and I
weird
will
sort of
ascend
like
the
I didn't
spire
expect
and
that kind of
face the
situation,
Lord
and I
of
think
Terror,
that's the thing
no
that
matter what
it's like if you
stands in
die
our
kind
way.
of fighting a whole bunch of stuff and you kind of go down, it feels like a fight, you know, that's sort of one thing. When you're like standing there, you think you're doing okay, and the next second you're dead because you just got hit by 3 things simultaneously, which can sometimes happen in this game.
Our arrogance was our
In hardcore
downfall.
mode, that's really kind of super frustrating. So
How does it feel? Knowing you
it
helped
a
me
crack.
become prime
And we're
evil.
really rolling through
For all
this
your
final
might.
act.
how's the monk to play?
Have you ever tried the monk?
No, actually, that's the one I haven't really tried at all.
I enjoyed it.
Second thought, when I was no longer of
That's
use to you.
the thing that I've enjoyed playing about the monk is you can dual wield weapons really well, and once you get
To use that ability.
I think the 3rd melee ability, the 3rd X ability in this version, she can attack really fast, and she also has like a shadow ability that is a nice like, problem clearing ability. So overall, first of all, I think the monk looks cooler than the barbarian or anything like that. And the other thing is that I just like the way that she handles. She's fast. She has multiple healing abilities. She can't completely annihilate a room like she can't completely annihilate a room like some other classes, but she can use her fair share of damage to really a higher level boss. And I would say that a lot of the appeal of the monk is attack speed. So I would say that the monk is by far my preferred.
I need arcane
How
power.
many aspects of each you've got? It's just like Demon Hunter is kind of like this weird cross between a round hunter.
Yeah, the wizard has Frost Nova. Maybe they exist in the same. They do exist in the same universe as Heroes of the Storm has shown. The Blizzard verse. It's a lot like the Dark Tower, Stephen King's Dark Tower verse, which means that you're just gonna start seeing Blizzard developers popping up in the game. Oh, poor
Look at the
poor
destruction
Angel.
Diablo
All
has
stuck in
wrought.
the walls and
If we do
everything.
not stop him, this
What
is
class
the
do you like to
future
play in
of
World
all
of Warcraft,
creation.
Yes?
Priest, so I kind of like the sort of shield.
I knew Inarius long ago, when he was still among the
Kind of
angels.
gameplay, sort of a
But he
bit.
grew weary of battling the demons after a time, and he began to secretly conspire with demons in order to
A
forge
little
a
bit worried
peace.
about what's
The
going on.
demoness Lilith became his greatest ally in the
Been playing the
hells,
beta
and many other demons and angels
You know, for some
joined his
reason, and it just
cause.
feels like a really OCD decision that Wizards decided to kind of streamline their words online. Every class sort of removes spells that they believe useful. Or run things that made the character fun. I mean, some of these rarely used spells were actually really in certain situations, and they've just kind of taken them away. And they've also kind of, you know, a good thing is they've removed a lot of the crowd control spells that really plagued this expansion, but they don't seem to have done a particularly good job of it, and so it feels very unbalanced in terms of some characters have still got quite a lot of control, others haven't any control at all, and so, you know, I don't know, it's still very much a work in progress, but I just feel, I feel about this expansion in some way that I
I don't have enough arcane power.
My injuries are less
some
severe.
classes, other classes were just really boring, so there's kind of a feeling about this again, so hopefully they get it right, otherwise they can disappoint a lot of people, and I don't think they can afford to disappoint people in the same way they did with Cataclysm. Subscriber base.
Yeah, they were sitting at something like a peak of, what, 11, 12 million subscribers circa Cataclysm, and now they're down to 6 million?
Fountains of heaven flowed with the energy of the crystal arch. But now,
then it just expansion was repetitive, which it kind of has been.
It felt like a lightweight expansion, all things considered.
Not yet recharged.
I mean, you got pets.
Yeah, that was kind of like a fun idea. You know, and they're kind of expanding it again. This time around, it's and
Yeah, sort of like player housing, essentially.
yeah,
But it's like clan housing.
yes, on a really big scale where you can kind of build garrisons buildings to augment things. You can sort of do like skills and crafting, and you can build outposts in other places and sort of
Seems we both fall from grace to you. Come, embrace your former
and there's
lieutenant.
no advantage of garrisons for PvP. There's just nothing.
I mean, my experience with PvP in MMOs is that the MMO PvP community is really hardcore, right? And really dedicated and really takes balancing stuff really seriously. And the development team doesn't care about them because
Reaches out for you.
What you are
like they're not a
is
priority.
impossible.
I wouldn't say that they don't care at all, but they're not like they don't want to spend precious resources and time on it. Is that the experience that you've had in World of Warcraft?
You know, Blizzard's put quite a lot of resources into it, more so than most other developers. But I think the thing that they do, which I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense to them, and there's a reason for it. But they kind of tie PvE and PvP together, and to me, it's just like just make them two separate things, change the stats accordingly, and just don't sort of have this one consistent damage model. You know, I don't give a crap about like I do 68,000 damage on a monster, but I only do 12,000 damage on a person if it's balanced. You know, to me, it's just like it's not important. It's just numbers. But you know, Blizzard sort of want to try and get rid of the sort of the hacks that they have to use to make PvP work. And so they sort of spent a lot of time trying to rebalance the entire system so that they don't have to do that. But I don't know. I can't see the point in it, really. So just make it work. Most people really don't care about, you know, whether PvP and PvE work consistently. What's more important is the experience.
For people who are just joining us, Jazz and I are currently in the midst of Act 4 of Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Jazz is playing as an apprentice character. I'm kind of curious, Jazz, how are you continuing to fare relatively well?
Yeah, it's like I haven't noticed a thing. It's just I'm just in here.
You're just like here crushing everything.
Yeah.
One thing that made me a little sad was the knowledge that I can't import my PS4 character to the PS3 so that I can play with my friends. I'm going to have to roll up a new character when I move over to that console. So it goes from PS3 to PS4, but does not go from PS4 to PS3.
No. And just be warned, if you do copy any save across, it overwrites absolutely everything. So so just make sure that, you know, there's nothing on your account that you need. I mean, I think most people will do it from scratch, but I actually sort of did mine after the fact, thinking that you were copying characters across, and I overwrote everything. So a little bit frustrating.
I can't believe you managed to overwrite everything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's strange that it would just let you destroy a character like that.
Well, it had a warning, but I just didn't really look at it.
It had a warning. I just didn't look at the warning.
Yeah. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, yeah, of course I do.
Why, yes. Why wouldn't I?
Yes. Just hurry and let me do it.
One thing I've noticed about playing with the 4-player mode, the breakneck pace means that I have like no time to sit and mess around with my inventory.
Yeah.
It's actually a little stressful. I suppose that if I were playing with randoms, I would I suppose if I were playing with randoms that I would just periodically stop and let them do their own thing. But as it is, I kind of prefer I don't want to like be left behind. That's one of the things with Diablo. Like, the inventory management can take quite a bit of time, and it really becomes quickly apparent. It becomes more and more apparent as you get further into the game, and you just keep getting insane amounts of loot, because you get a lot of loot in this game.
Yeah, and actually, I have noticed, maybe it's just because we're in 4-player mode, but I'm not getting as much loot as I was getting out of the PC version.
I'm getting a fair amount of loot.
Yeah.
And in fact, at the moment, I'm like quickly just trying to go through and drop a bunch of it so that I can keep going and grabbing stuff because I don't want to miss out on anything. Alright, here we go. There, I just dropped a whole ton of stuff. And inevitably, like, I have to go through my skills. So... Alright. Are we ready to go?
Alright.
Okay, continuing onward.
Yeah, I am leveling up like crazy. So I'm already like halfway through level 14. And in fact, I leveled up about halfway through the last fight, and then I'm like halfway through the next level already.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm leveling up pretty fast too. I've gone up at least 2 levels since this stream began, which I think is down to just the fact that we're playing with 4 people. So I think it's like cranked up the difficulty, and we're getting more experience, maybe. Oh, I just got a cool sword called the Vile Sting. One thing that
nice.
I kind of like is that it will show the loot on the corner of the screen, and it'll have the little arrows so that you know immediately, oh yeah, this is something that's worth investigating versus, nah, this loot isn't worth investigating at all. What do you think of the new interface changes, Jazz?
I think it's really good. It's all designed around kind of speed and convenience, so to speak. You know, it just keeps the action sort of rolling constantly, and I really like that aspect about it.
Yeah, one of the things that they did was make it so it's a lot easier to distribute loot, because my understanding is that in the previous console version of Diablo 3, you had kind of a recurring issue where the melee characters would always get to the loot first and grab it all up. And that made it a lot harder for, say, a wizard to be able to get things. So now it like automatically allocates loot.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I like the fact that it automatically equips stuff that you pick up, so that you might miss something that you picked up in the middle of doing something, but it will be on you. So I think that's just little things like that just help.
By the way, I've adjusted the game audio and messed around with the sound mixing, everybody. So if it's better now, please let me know in the chat. This question is for you, Jazz. Hulagu wants you to talk a bit about the apprentice mechanics. What exactly do they mean? If you talked about them earlier, my apologies, but I couldn't hear.
Oh, no sweat. Yeah, basically, apprentice mode it allows you to invite anybody of any level to adventure with you. So when we actually started this, we started out with a character that was level 3. My Crusader was level 3, and basically it gives you a stat boost. It doesn't give you any kind of magic boost, but a stat boost, so that you can fight at the same level as whichever character you're playing with. So I think Cat was level 38, another one of our characters was 40. So I kind of got a boost so that I was fighting alongside, and I really didn't notice any difference other than the fact that, obviously I didn't have the optional spells that you get leveling up. But otherwise it's the same strength, picking up the right kind of gear and getting the stat boost. So it's really smart, and what I have noticed playing this mode is I'm leveling up like crazy, so it seems to be a really good way of also it's kind of like power leveling a friend. Get your friend's big character to come along, you tag along, pick up great loot, and just sort of help out. And it's a brilliant mode. I actually didn't really pay much attention to it when I was reviewing the game, but now I'm actually experiencing it. It's like, yeah, this is a really, really smart way of doing things. Really great for friends, because it means that obviously, you could invite 3 people that have never played the game before, and you can kind of strut around with your level 50 Uber character and, all play together. And what's not to like?
I consider it pretty much essential, because it people are going to just level up at different paces, right? So it's just no fun if you are if you can actually get people together to play, and it makes it a lot easier for Blizzard to be able, or for people to be able to evangelize Diablo 3. No, come on in. I will walk you through it. It also means that you can power level like crazy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're already up to level 15.
Yeah, we haven't even finished. Well, basically, it's 15 levels in, not 15 levels, 12 levels in one act. So I ain't complaining at all.
Yeah, which means, or have you had a chance to go through your abilities at all?
No. I'm just using everything stock, and I'm not having any problems at all. So and again, it's a testament to the game. It's sort of just automatically setting me up as I go along with the spells that I pick up, so I don't have to actually fiddle around with anything. So you know, it's really usable.
Now we're fighting Diablo, the primeval. We really ripped our way through this final level. It helps. It certainly helps when you're playing on normal mode, I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, how long is that? About 40 minutes for 25% of the game.
Well, Act 1, 2, and 3 are pretty long, especially Act 2. Like, it took us the better part of the afternoon to get through all of that.
Yeah.
And Act 5 itself is fairly long as well, because they really want you to kind of get your money's worth with that version. Act 4, though, yeah, I feel like they ran out of time.
Oh no, I'm dead. I actually died.
Whoa, you died?
I did.
You're being slowed down. So we're like actually having trouble for the first time a little bit. Also, I can't find my character. You know, one of the things that I've noticed... Oh, shoot. One thing that I've noticed about this version of the game, it's quite easy to lose yourself, as it were. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, especially when you're a, like a monk. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're both
Don't
like...
stand in the purple thing.
Do not stand in the purple thing.
Oh, he
Jeez.
nailed me with one of his frickin' Hydra glowy bastard things.
Triangle? Can you triangle? There, you're back.
Alright. We're all back.
Yeah, it was the timer thing. Jeez. Okay. I take back what I said earlier.
Yeah,
Alright, now we're like actually doing a little damage here.
Alright. Pinyar's time. Let's have him.
We were all just so busy hammering on him that we totally didn't notice. Ah, crap! Jeez! Ah! Whoa, I'm getting crushed. No!
I had an awesome backwards roll, kind of flailing backflip, ragdoll style just then. That was awesome.
Man, stay alive, Miguel.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I think we're all down. I think we're all dead. Can we come back? No? Checkpoint.
Yeah, checkpoint. Checkpoint rares. Alright.
Wow, okay. That was embarrassing.
Like a quick 2 minutes to tweak characters, because I, for one, am not using the spells that I need to be using.
Maybe a good idea. Maybe new weapon too. Well, but these weapons aren't any better. And that's the fun part about Diablo 3, is sitting here and messing around with abilities and everything. But if you want to go in, actually, I am a fan of the wheel approach to setting the abilities. It's the tiniest bit more cumbersome than the regular version of Diablo 3 on the PC, mainly because you can't just mouse over the abilities. And as maybe you can see right now, there's kind of an annoying glitch where, for some reason, it shows you as having all of the new abilities if you're the second player. I don't know if you noticed that, Jazz.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So Emily will go into the skill screen after setting her abilities. See what that orange thing is. You had an orange unidentified item.
Oh yeah, you need to open that up, because that's
think it's
probably a
under
legendary.
weapon. There. Oh, she's got the Nutcracker.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
I think Diablo. I don't think Diablo will particularly like the Nutcracker. Put on the Eternity. Put on the Magus Heirloom. And so now she's got her sweet skull again. Alright, let's do this thing. Jazz, you ready?
Almost. I just realised I had a really crappy weapon. It's kind of weird because it's like I'm picking up loot that is way beyond my level.
Yeah. So you can't actually equip anything.
Yeah, so I'm just finding the stuff that I can equip. There we go.
That's interesting, actually. So, loot. You can't really get loot. You can just level up.
Yeah, I'm getting a mixture of stuff. So I've definitely got some stuff that's really strong, and then other stuff that's a bit way above my level. But
all right. Well, if you're just joining us now, we are now going to take our second run at Diablo, who utterly destroyed us the last time we tried to fight him. It's a little embarrassing, but I think a lot of it was to do with the fact that we weren't extremely well coordinated. I think that once his Phantasm version appears, we need to be careful about his little minions, because they do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they smoked me a bunch of times.
So...
Alright, attack from rear.
Yeah, I mean... We're not having any trouble stunning his main form.
I'll get him out of the way.
And, like, I'm lost again. I can't find my... Oh, there I am. That's the problem with playing as a melee character on the TV screen. The camera, it's hard to find myself sometimes. I think it's because the camera's not locked on my character. Is the camera locked on your character on the PC? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
So it's much easier to keep track of yourself.
Yeah, I think because it's sort of acting like a couch co-op game, I think it's trying to keep all the characters on the screen as well as it can.
Make sure to kill those things. Yeah, we definitely can't ignore those guys.
Don't stand in the glowy purple stuff.
Shadow Nevelins. Oh.
Oh,
crap.
Trapped.
Oh, ow. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Jeez. Okay, he's down here, Emily. We can't see him very well. Aha! I gotcha!
He seems to have a habit of, like, teleporting just as I blew my cooldowns, and then he sort of runs away as I'm about to do my biggest swing.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm doing a little better this time, mainly because I'm not just ignoring the Shadow Nephilim.
Yeah. And I'm doing a better job of not running into the purple thing of death.
I hate purple things of death.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's the nice thing about the ability that I've got. Stuns them. Alright, we gotcha.
This guy looks like the creature from Evolve that we were fighting a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that was fun. If you, by the way, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Diablo totally does look like the Kraken from Evolve. God, he teleported out just as we were about to get him too. There we go. Got him. He had like literally 1 hit point left. Oh, Seven Pains and Hulegu? Sorry that I'm mispronouncing your name. Had some nice things to say about our tribute to Robin Williams, Jazz.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, it's, I really like that piece. I didn't actually end up contributing to it because honestly, I just didn't know what to say. It's like, but
yeah,
you know, he was a pretty amazingly talented person.
Yeah, it was so surprising and sad.
Yeah.
And he was such. If you ever want a good laugh sometime, go check out his Reddit AMA. He is such a nerd in that AMA. It's great. As Jeremy said, he was a nerd before it was cool to be a nerd. And we just defeated Diablo. Yeah, down goes Diablo. Take that, Diablo's corpse.
Yes.
There, we just got some sweet loot. No, we have to get rid of some of it. Crap. Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's like, alright, we killed Diablo. Oh, look at all this loot. Oh, now crap, we have to get rid of some of this loot. Before... I just love this idea of... No! Screw you. Hurry. So that we can get rid of some loot.
I'll tell you something, you can carry a lot more stuff than you can with a PC version, or at least it feels like it. I've just been picking up non-stop stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we've been frantically trying to pick stuff up, though,
Yes.
because we can't carry enough, unfortunately. Emily, I think you need to drop some more stuff. I love this idea that we killed the ultimate evil. He's dead, and now we're just dropping all of our crap on the ground next to his corpse so that we can pick up his loot. This, by the way, everybody, you are watching the true essence of Diablo as we speak. As Emily, like, rifles through her inventory. I think you dropped enough.
Ooh, I got a nice legendary mace, Odin Son.
I don't care about those guys.
And it glows.
Whatever. I guess I have no place to put these items. Whatever. I'll get better items later anyway.
Diablo is vanquished, and all evil with him.
Evil is not so easily vanquished.
Of course it isn't.
I think evil's pretty easily vanquished. I mean, like, if they just did an airstrike on Diablo, he'd be gone so fast. It wouldn't
Yes.
even be funny.
It's sequels that are not easily vanquished, I think, is what they really mean.
That is true. Well, Diablo's vanquished, and we're headed to the Reaper of Souls expansion. And I think that is just about the end of the stream. Final thoughts on Diablo 3 Jazz?
I think it's brilliant. It's the best sort of co-op game out there, I think. Particularly couch co-op game. You get people on the sofa next to you, and it's just really, really good fun. You got all that loot. It's just really, really great version of the game. I actually think this is the best version of the game. I love playing it with the joypad. It feels perfect on the joypad. The game's tuned beautifully. I think it even looks a little bit better than the PC version. So you just can't go wrong with it, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that it does very nicely on the console. It looks really great. It's nice to hang out on the couch and play it on my TV. And I think couch co-op is what really makes it. Just being able, even though it's a little cumbersome to sort through your inventory, like Blizzard streamlined that as much as possible, but I mean, I feel like that is kind of inevitable. But by and large, it's a lot of fun to just hang out, and Emily and I really had a blast this weekend just playing through the entire story of Diablo 3 again, seeing how it all goes, and it's certainly one of the best games on the PS4, though that's not saying much right now because there's not a lot on it. But if you haven't had a chance to play it on PC, I feel like it's a no-brainer, especially if you like RPGs. It's a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best action RPG out there, I think, you know, and it's what I like about it is it's kind of got that really old school feel too. You know, it's sort of the old sort of God, I can't remember the name. I used to play it all the time, not Bard's Tale, the other one, but Baldur's Gate, and it really feels like that kind of era of games. And you know, it's tons of loot. and surprisingly deep. A lot of different options on the characters as well. You can actually make different build outs depending on your play style, and particularly on console, there's nothing close to it.
No, absolutely not. Somebody mentioned the Torchlight games. I like the Torchlight games very much. Torchlight 2 was okay, but I feel that Diablo 3 in particular has grown by leaps and bounds. If there's one thing about Blizzard, they don't make the same mistake twice, for the most part.
Yeah.
And they, while I'm sure it was painful for them to kind of roll back a lot of the things a lot of their initial decisions with Diablo 3, like the online auction house and everything, the game is certainly better for it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what they are very good at is being able to really understand a little bit better the kind of the broad player base, what they want, and not pay too much attention, but just enough to the kind of the hardcore guys that go crazy no matter what. And so I think they've got something here that just is, it's. I think this is the best iteration of Diablo so far. It's just really pulled nicely together, and and it's all the different modes. The apprentice mode, as we've just seen, is terrific. Really great way of sort of playing with a newbie, adventure mode and the Nephilim Rifts, all of that stuff just really adds to the replay value. And if you enjoy playing this kind of game, it's it really does deliver.
Absolutely. Well, Jazz, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kat Bailey. If you really enjoy USstreamer, we stream every Tuesday and every Thursday at 2 p.m. PST. We ended up streaming a little earlier today because Jazz has to get to an appointment in about 15 minutes. But by and large, if you want to know when we're streaming, make sure to follow our channel, and we'll be there. Next Thursday, tune in, because Bob Mackey will be playing a few of the games that Robin Williams actually featured in, including Aladdin and, of all things, Toys on the Super Nintendo. So if you want to check that out, absolutely be here next Thursday at 2 p.m. PST. All right, Jazz, thanks so much.
All right, thanks, and it was fun playing. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you again.
See you again.